What's going on? It's Ed from My PPC Training, and today we're talking about the story of my first ever marketing client. So as you may or may not know, besides My PPC Training, my partner and I also own a digital marketing agency specializing in Adwords management. So that is basically all we do. Nowadays, we don't offer any other services. We are a specialist in AdWords and specifically lead generating with AdWords. So how to generate leads with AdWords. We don't mess with e-commerce, strictly just ads to generate leads. Anyways, back in the day when I first started, I was a marketing strategist / marketing consultant. I'd go into a business and I'd look at their existing assets, so their client database. I'd look at how they generated leads, how they handled inbound leads, their sales process, look at everything and just look for ways and opportunities to grow their business. I was and still am very much a student of Jay Abraham and his 3 ways to grow a business, and I lived and breathed that for several years in terms of helping other clients, local clients, implementing that kind of stuff in their businesses. So the first ever client I got through direct mail. I know that may sound ridiculous, but direct mail still works quite well. It was let me think here. The first group of clients that I landed, what I had done was I went through my local papers, Yellow Pages, and then local magazines, and looked for people advertising. So looked specifically for people with full page ads. So I knew they were spending $1,000, $1,500, $5,000, whatever it may be for that ad placement. And what I did was I'd rip that ad out and I'd by hand create a little database. I'd look up their contact information. I'd find it. And I would send them a direct mail sequence, specifically a lumpy direct mail sequence, where it would be a series of anywhere from 1 to 3 letters, depending on, it might have been 5 letters actually, now I think back on it, but depending on when they responded or if they responded would determine how many letters they actually got. And each letter would have a lumpy item in it. You guys may be familiar with Sam Oven's trash can stuff that he did years ago. It was along that vein. I originally learned this stuff from a mentor of mine, and then also if you follow any of Dan Kennedy's stuff with direct mail, you can learn a lot of the stuff there. There's also a company called 3dmailresults.com. You can check them out. This is where I purchased all of the goods for this campaign. But I had written letters for it, and the sequence, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, went packet of aspirin, mini dinosaur, little toy dinosaur like that, a little mini lobster that was like that big, a little worry doll, and each of these items that were in the letter tied back into the letter itself and told a little story. The reason they are effective is because the lump. So when people get mail, when they get mail into their office or into their home, they typically sort it in 3 piles, and that is the junk pile, the bills pile, and the personal pile. Junk pile gets tossed. Bills, get dealt with at a later time typically, and then the personal stuff, cards, letters from friends, packages from Amazon, things like that. Those go into a separate pile. That pile gets opened. So the lump, what that is there for is to create some curiosity to get it opened. So the biggest thing with direct mail is that most direct mail just gets tossed because they don't pique curiosity. So the lumpy item, whatever you want to call it, is purely there to invoke curiosity, to get them to open the item. And then from there, the direct response letter that was written kind of takes over and does its thing, and a certain portion of those people that you send to will respond. The more personalized you can make it about that business, the better off you're going to be. So there were instances where I would actually put the actual ad itself that I ripped out and maybe wrote a handwritten note on. There would be examples where I would screenshot websites and write a handwritten note. The more personalized you can make it, the better off you're going to be. So that's it in a nutshell. That's how I got my first digital marketing client. Direct mail is actually still something we do to this day. We don't do it as aggressively as we did then, but if I'm ever in a pinch and need some clients fast, direct mail is typically where I'm going to go. We also do a lot of cold emailing at this point as well, so that's a strategy that's a bit more cost effective than direct mail, but I find direct mail tends to cut through the clutter and the noise on the computer a lot more than, say, cold email does. So it's still something I like. It's still something I deploy, and I hope this helps. I mean, I'm always curious to hear how people first got there or got their first marketing clients, whether it be marketing strategy or consulting or copywriting or SEO or digital marketing or web design or PPC or Facebook's ad management, whatever. So in the comments below, just let me know how you got your first client. Just curious, and I love to hear different ways that people are generating leads and making sales. So hope this helps. Hope you enjoyed the story, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.